All right, guys. Just a random stream, man. I'm working on some things here behind the scenes. I figured I might as well do it live. That's the best way to test it is live with you guys, right? That's the best way. And then while we at it too, we could talk about some other things as I watch the game right now. Right now, I'm testing this little box score thing that I have here going, which is see, it's glitching right there. All right, John the Beagle, there. What's up, man? Garrett Cole, first time back, man. It was good to see him on the mound. Obviously, he was shaking off some cobwebs. They had 2 hits off of him, but he got out of the jam, and it was a little scary moment right there where I didn't like the way that look, that's an Alex Cora move right there. First pitch of Garrett Cole coming back. This motherfucker is gonna lay down a bunt, right? That is freaking classic Alex Cora. Made Garrett Cole, he put him in an uncomfortable situation where he had to slide to first, and I mean, hey, it is what it is. He got out of the inning, and most importantly, he got out of the inning, injury free, looking good, hopefully feeling good, and getting ready for the season. Definitely getting ready for the season. Andrew says Yankees are great. Appreciate you, Andrew. Trying to be good. My Yankee excitement is back. Good morning, Jason. Good morning. Yeah, I'm trying to guys, this is just a random stream. No real topics or anything. I'm watching the game right now as we talk, but I'm trying to work on some stuff here. So if I'm quiet for a little bit, I mean, you guys could, keep the chat going and everything. If you want to talk about something, let me know. I'll talk about it. If anybody wants to join too, I'll try to bring somebody in because this whole stream is me working on some things, right? Just trying to get all my ducks in order before the season starts. Before the season starts, where am I over here? Okay, let me put this here. Okay. What do you guys think about Garrett Cole? You know, I was listening to Pinstripe Chronicles this morning, man. And they and shout out to them, man. Them dudes, they're great, right? Uncle Tats and all of them. But I was thinking about a lot of things that Donna was saying, man, and you know what? They made valid points, man. Because in regards to Aaron Judge, is he clutch or not? Look, man, we can't even defend the dude no more. Like he hasn't come through in the big moments. Like, what are you gonna say? Like, and I'm a big Judge supporter, but I can't defend the dude, man. I went back and I watched him at bat, right? I went back and watched his at bat in the 6th inning where he worked the count to a 3-1 count. He had a 3-1 count. And they pitched a fastball right down the middle, literally right down Broadway. And he took it and like, while I was watching the game live, I knew I was like, what the hell are you doing? But I had to go back and watch this at bat. Go back, guys, and watch that at bat. And I saw it in Judge, man, that he was looking for the walk there. You can tell. And that's not good, man. That's not what you want from your guy. He was looking to pass the baton. He was looking to just get the walk and pass the baton down instead of being the man and freaking taking a G hack right there, 3-1, let the chips fall where they may. And yeah, that was not good. And it kind of changed my perspective on a lot of things on how I felt last night to today, because I had to go back and watch some of these at bats and I have to agree, man. Like, I don't know. It looked like he didn't want, like, where some guys they want to be the guy, like Jordan wants to take the last shot. It didn't look like he wanted to be the guy. He was hoping to just pass the baton off to the next guy. And then when Bryce Harper hit that 2-run bomb in the 8th inning, he literally took all the pressure off of Aaron Judge, right? Because if he doesn't hit that and Aaron Judge comes up, all the pressure's on it. And he literally took all the pressure off of Aaron Judge and he still didn't do nothing, man. So I don't know, man. No, I'm over it, but it's just something that I hope that as a Yankee fan that he can man, that he can shake them demons, man, because he has had some moments, but it really does feel like when the stage gets when the lights get brightest, when they get really bright, I don't know, man. I don't think he's up for the challenge sometimes, man. And it's look, when people say he's not clutch, how do you argue with them? You know? How do you argue with him? We're talking about one of the greatest hitters ever. But how do you argue with that? He's had clutch moments, but he hasn't been consistently clutch, and he hasn't had that really huge moment. All right, let me. I was here to do something, and I lost track. All right, I'm working on the score bug here. Let me see if I can pull this up. I'm trying to see if it works properly, and I'll get into the chat. We'll talk a little bit. Where is this thing? Oh, here we go. Okay. My goodness. Let me know what you think about the score bug right here. Can you guys see it good? That lip on the bottom where it shows it like at bat, Castro, and all that. I feel like it's not that visible. I got to work on that. I got to work on that a little bit. Let me see what y'all saying in the chat. Ace, what's good? Ace, man, you like the score bug right there? Andrew says Aaron Judge sucks. I'll tell you what, man. Ohtani ain't he ain't as clutch as we think either, man. So, but he's won something, That's the difference there. Andrew, man, you about to be permanently banned from this channel. So I'm just putting you on notice, man. I like you a lot, man, but sometimes, man, you're trolling, man. Like sometimes I'm not in the mood, bro. John the Beagle says, I learned a lot about the WBC from you guys. I never really paid attention to that. Oh no, you good, man. Nobody's mad at you. Hey, look, John, you're entitled to your own opinion. I just noticed that okay, that's a problem there. The score bug is covering the freaking chat highlight, so I gotta fix that. Can I move it? Hold on. See, this is why I'm doing this live. Look, there's a random stream. Yeah, we're gonna talk Yankees. We'll talk baseball. We'll talk USA, WBC, Venezuela, all of that stuff if you want. But really, I'm just working on some technical things, man. Trying to get ready for the season. Trying to kink out all these bugs, man. As a developer, sometimes and me, like I'm a novice, bro. Like I get ahead of myself. Instead of perfecting something like the scoreboard, right? I'll just be like, okay, and move on to something else and never kink out all the bugs. But then it just starts compiling and becoming a big mess. Especially when you look at the code, I start going back and I'm like, damn, I didn't even know what I did here. And yeah, it becomes a big mess. So I'm trying to backtrack some of that stuff. Kelvin, what's good, Kelvin? And also, I'm trying to figure out how to add guests on OBS. I mean, I know how to add guests on OBS, but I'm trying to make it to where I get this shit flawlessly, so I don't have to use EVMux or StreamYards or any of that stuff anymore. What's it? Video Ninja. There we go. Yeah. Walker says, how did Cole do? All right, so first of all, man, shout out to Alex Cora, man, because that dude's a freaking dick, man. So the first pitch, Garrett Cole's first pitch, they laid down a freaking bunt down the line, a bunt single down the line, where Garrett Cole had a freaking slide into first trying to get the guy out. It was a scary moment right there because it was an awkward slide too. And only Alex Cora would do something like that. He's so petty, man. Only he would do something. Knowing this dude hasn't pitched in like a year and a half, all the anticipation, he would lay down a bunt to throw him off his game. Yeah, man. It was funny though. Cole did well considering it's his first start in a year and a half. Yeah, he look, with all things considered, he did well. It was only one inning, so we're not gonna get crazy. We're not gonna say, "Oh, he's back," and he's the. No, we don't know that yet, but it was good. Look, I think the whole point of was to just get him out there to break the ice, to kind of get the cobwebs off a little bit. Um, I think that's what that was for. So it's exciting. Hopefully, man, he makes a big difference as Carlos Lagrange strikes out some dude right now. Oh, they challenged it. No, that's a ball. That is a ball. So I'm looking at this score bug I'm working on, man. I'm trying to make sure this works. It went straight to the middle of the inning, but it's not the middle of the inning. I want to see if it goes back because they messed up. They got challenged. Oh, you know what? No, I know what it is. I'm way behind. That's why. So the inning's probably over. I'm just way behind. That's not good either. I am way behind here. So Carlos Lagrange has 11 Ks this spring. He's averaging 8.5 Ks through 9, right? Yeah, man, this dude's gonna make the team. I think, guys. I think he may. How doesn't he make the team at this point? He's throwing 102 on a regular. How don't you put him on this team? Like, and I get it. Some people are like, well, they want him to be a starter and everything, and we don't have space in the rotation, kind of right now, I guess. But I mean, you kind of could put him in the rotation because Weathers and Luis Hill haven't been exactly freaking lights out either. But even if they throw him in the bullpen, I think it's worth it, man. Let him develop up here in the big leagues. He's got the stuff, man. The has got the like. You can't teach 102. You can't teach that, man. You can't teach that. So I say leave. I say he makes the roster and let him develop up here at the big leagues. I think that's the best thing you could do for him right now. The best thing they could do for Carlos Lagrange and for the team. Ace. Yeah, man. Why is this covering that? All right, let me move this ticker. Shit, where is it? I mean the score bug. Excuse me. Let's put it top center, maybe. No, I don't like that. Top left. Yeah, I'll leave it right there for now. I guess I gotta work on that. I don't like the way that it didn't center off of that box score. All right. So A says, imagine being a Dodgers fan in every Yankees channel. Yeah, man. This dude, freaking Andrew, too much, man. Yeah, he covered first, unlike Game 5, right? He did cover first, but man, that as soon as he did it, as soon as he laid down the bunt, I was like, really? That's what we're doing? That's what we're doing here? And I'm telling you right now, that's the tone, right? That was a tone setter for me for the rest of 2026, where the Red Sox, like, they don't give a crap about us, right? There was a reason why he laid down that bunt there. He laid down that bunt there to make Garrett Cole uncomfortable, right? They don't care, if he, is coming off a Tommy John surgery and that tells you, man, look, Alex Cora, man, he got no heart for the other team, right? He got no sympathy for the Yankees, and we should treat them the same way. Straight up, we should treat them the same way. Be freaking heartless for them, They're the ops. They are the ops. John says, put him in the bullpen. Yeah, I mean, look, in the rotation, the bullpen, I don't know, but he makes the team. If I had any say in the Yankees and what they do, look, Lagrange makes the team, right? He makes the team. Maybe he's not 100% ready. I don't care. He's throwing 102 now, and that plays wherever, right? and let's bring him up here to develop up here. Right? He's already got all the talent in the world. What better place than to develop up here? I think, man, look, I think it would do him wonders. And if you ask, I bet you if you ask Carlos LeGrand, of course he wants to be a starter. But if they say, hey, you want to be a starter in the minor leagues or be a reliever in the big leagues, hey, he's gonna take the big leagues every day, right? Because there's more money and just because he's in the big leagues. So they gotta, if he doesn't make the team, look, I understand Spencer Jones not making the team, right? I understand Elmer Rodriguez Cruz or Elmer Rodriguez, whatever he calls himself now, not making the team. I understand that. And even Jason Dominguez, to a certain point, I understand if he doesn't make the team. This kid, Carlos LeGrand, you gotta. I know it's a big jump, and the Yankees don't usually do that, but they gotta put him on this roster, man. I think he's ready. He's ready. Kevin says my hate for the Red Sox and Boston came from so natural, to be honest. Yeah, man. You know what though? To me, yeah, I think the Blue Jays have kind of taken over that, man. Like if I had to choose a team that I dislike more in the AL East, it used to always be Boston, but now it's the Blue Jays for me. That's the team that I feel like, look, if we don't beat any team in the AL East this year, we better beat them, right? We got to. We got to put, and early too, right? Early in the season, we got to put them on notice like, hey, this ain't 2025. We can beat you. Wilkins says, oh my God, they just hit Bellinger. He's worth $52.5 million. Yeah, man. Yeah. You know what's crazy though? Even if he has a good season, he's not gonna have a $52.5 million season, right? To do that, you gotta put up Judge regular season numbers. He's not gonna do that. So in a sense, he's never gonna live up to it. Ocean View says he's focusing on next weekend versus Giants. I agree, man. Now that the WBC is out the way, yeah, it's time to move on. Time to move on. Time to be strong. Oh no, they got me singing P. Diddy. Don't stop now, straight to the top now.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
Oh man. I create a room. My bad, guys. I'm trying to do something right now. Kevin says, I still get irate every time I see Grish bat leadoff. Yeah, they gonna keep doing it, man. They will keep doing it. They will keep doing it. LeGrand can make this bullpen and spot start, like you said. No reason not to. I think they got to, man. And the fact, look, especially now that most of the players are back from WBC, right? Except for USA guys like David Bednar, I expect to be back on the team tomorrow. Judge. Who else we had over there? I think David Bednar was the only guy who hadn't made it back yet. Anyway, like with everybody back, the fact that he is still in the big league spring training, I think he has a real shot, man. I think the Yankees are really, really considering it. They're really considering it. And the fact that some of these dudes aren't really like claiming a job either. It's not like freaking Chivilli or Chili Willy, whatever you call him. It's not like he came out here and was like lights out. And it's like, yeah, he's definitely making a roster spot. It's not like Jake Bird has freaking cemented himself into this roster either, you know? It's not like none of these dudes have really. So why not? Why not keep the kid up here and shit, man, make it a competition, right? Look, I get it. These guys have big league experience. This guy has, I don't even think he has any freaking AAA starts, LeGrand. But that don't matter, right? We're gonna put the best players on the team, right? Whether they have experience or not. Let's get them some experience. That's what I said. Let's get them some experience. I think they lost. I think they lost both of their challenges, Wilkin. I don't think they have any because Ben Rice lost a challenge, and did they have another one? I think I think they took it away from Jazz, man. They probably told Jazz, look, you can't challenge no more. You definitely can't challenge no more. You way too emotional. Way too emotional. Emotional damage. What else you guys want to talk about, man? Besides the WBC, man, what else is there to talk about right now? Not much, right? Just opening day next week. Hopefully the Yankees get off to a hot start. If not, look, man. I don't know. This season for the Yankees, right? To me, this season is gonna be interesting, man. Because I could see a scenario where we're freaking killing it and we're first in our division and all that, right? And then I could also see a scenario where everything goes wrong, right? Where some of these contracts we gave out, i.e., Grisham and Bellinger, aren't working out. Um, I could see a scenario where this rotation, as good as it may look right now, right, where it's not panning out, where Cole comes back and he's not 100% Cole, and we're waiting for him to get it back together. Where Carlos Rodon, even though he had a great season last year, reverts back to the season prior to that, right? Like a lot can go wrong with this team at the same time. A lot could go wrong. Where Volpe comes back and they throw him in the lineup and he's lackluster again. A lot could go wrong, but I hope not. I hope that, and I think that this team will be good, man. I just don't think they're good enough yet. Not yet. I don't get like I don't get World Series vibes from this team yet. They showing Jazz, man, complaining about this call. My guy, that's a strike, brother. That is a strike. I know Boone's probably tired, and then he's still complaining to the Empire and everything. Jazz, man, you be killing me. That's one thing. Look, I like Jazz and he's talented and all that, but he needs to sometimes just shut the hell up, man, and sit the fuck down. Okay, you struck out looking. That was a strike. You complained to the umpire. The umpire looked at you like, shut up. You went to Aaron Boone, complained to Aaron Boone because Aaron Boone probably told you, look, you're not allowed to challenge calls anymore because you fucking suck at it. He went to Aaron Boone, complained to Aaron Boone, then went back on the field, right? The inning's over. He went and grabbed his glove. Everybody's grabbing their glove, doing what they got to do. And he's on the field now. Instead of freaking taking his warm-ups, he's there arguing with the umpire. Come on, Jazz, man. Like, at some point, look, and I like Jazz a lot, man, but sometimes he's too immature for me. Like he's not. I don't know, man. And I get it. Like I don't want to sound like an old school kind of guy when I say like the Yankee way or anything like that. But sometimes, man, he needs to shut the fuck up, man, and just keep it pushing and play the game. Right? Play the game. Arguing with the Empire, man, all day. And it's like Wilkins said, then challenge it. But he probably and is not allowed to challenge it. They probably told him don't challenge it. Kelvin says, I'm learning to just be optimistic. Man, here's the thing, Kelvin, man. It's like if if you can't be a little optimistic, then what's the point? You know? Like if you go into a season and you're like, man, we're doomed. There's no hope. Then what's the point, right? You just take the joy out of it. What's the point of watching the games then, Look, the game still gotta be played, right? The game still gotta be played. We learned that in the WBC. The game still gotta be played. When Italy beat United States, right? And we was like, yo, this is gonna be an easy win for the US. Was it? They end up losing, right? Even versus Venezuela, they should have won that. It was like the game still got to be played, so anything can happen. So you got to be optimistic. Be optimistic, but you got to be realistic too. And realistically, look, this is a good team, but the odds of them going all the way are not where you wanted to be. That's what I'll say. To me, they're definitely not the favorite to win the World Series, and I don't even think against what Vegas may think. I don't think the Yankees are the favorites to make it out of the AL either. Or even the AL East. They're not the favorites to make it out the AL East, in my opinion. But this is a good team, though. So you know what, man? Walker says he's optimistic about the pitching farm and Wells and Bednar. I'm not 100% sold on Bednar yet. I like the way he's got himself, like he's gone out of some big jams and big spots. Right? Last postseason and also in the WBC. But I can't ignore the fact that he put himself in those spots. I still need to see more. Oh my God, the OBS is acting crazy again. Yeah. And we back. Yeah. So David Bednar, I still need to see more, in my opinion. But I have high hopes for him. I'm optimistic too in that regard. We'll see. I got way too much going on the screen right now. Let me see what I can do here. Whatever. TC was good, brother. What is going on, my guy? Kelvin says, I would like to see us go try hard mode. I think they try hard. I don't know, man. Look, I don't even know what it is anymore, man. I really don't. With this team, it's just not enough. And sometimes, look, man, we've seen it. And look, as much as I love Aaron Judge, man, as much as I love Aaron Judge, man, look, and I think he deserves to be the captain. That's my opinion. But you can't ignore the facts that, I don't know, man, the teams that he's on, no matter how good they are, they freaking, I don't know, the energy or the motivation, something just ain't there. It ain't there. And it sucks, man. That's why I say I feel like Aaron Judge has a dark cloud following him, man. A dark cloud, and he's got to shake those demons off. If not, he's just gonna go down as the greatest regular season player ever, and who just couldn't make the big shot, right? And here's my thing, and I think like Aaron Judge, this is why and I'm gonna use Kobe. I mean, not Kobe. Yeah, I'll use Jordan and LeBron in this analogy, right? With Jordan, there was a year, I forgot what, I think was he with Cleveland when they lost to the Warriors, right? LeBron had a chance to take the last shot, and he dished it off to somebody when it was like, dude, you got to make that last shot there. I feel like Judge sometimes, man, he's like the same thing. Like, after I watched that 6th inning at bat yesterday, where you can tell he was trying to get the walk. Instead of trying to be the man, he was trying to pass the baton to the next guy. And it's like, my man, if that's your approach, if your approach is to go up, we don't need Aaron Judge getting walks. If it happens, it happens. Especially yesterday, we need you to hit a fucking bomb here, dude. 3-1 count, fastball right down the middle. You got to take your best swing at that. But instead, you could tell that he didn't want the moment. He was trying to pass it off to somebody else. And when you have that approach, bro, when that's your approach, yeah, you're cooked. You just are. Baseball's like that too. Especially when you're supposed to be the guy. When you're supposed to be the guy, you need to go up there and be the guy. And if you can't get it done, you took your best swings, you did your best. So I think he's sometimes, especially baseball. I tell my son this all the time. Because my son is pretty good, especially hitting. He's a really good, he's a power, he got power. But it's the same thing. Sometimes in certain situations, I'm like, dude, and I ask him, what are you thinking up there? And he's like, well, I'm trying to work the count. I'm like, dude, there's a situation for you to try to work the count and take a walk or whatever. That's not it, bro. You're batting fourth to slug, dude. You're not batting fourth to freaking, that's why it's called cleanup. That's what I tell my son. It's called cleanup for a reason. When it's a 3-1 fastball down the middle, we want you swinging at that. We want you swinging at it. Let the other guy, that little kid over there, he's taking that pitch because he don't got the power you got. But you can change a game in one swing. Take the damn swing 10 out of 10 times. You can't just watch pitches like that, man. So, yeah. And I feel like that's where Judge was, I don't know, he was trying to pass off. He was trying to pass off the moment to the next guy. And that's not what you need from your captain. And from Aaron Judge, the best hitter in the world, you need him to freaking take his swings. It's almost to a point, right, where it was like, even if it's 3-0, in certain situations, even if it's 3-0, if it's a bad pitch, I almost want him to swing anyway just to get another pitch to hit, As crazy as that sounds, but whatever. Judge needs to have a sit-down with Jeter and find the secrets to being a winner. No, but he did have a sit-down with him. Look, it's just, I don't want to say he's a loser or anything. I think he needs to change his mentality. He really needs to change the mentality when he goes up there. He needs to be the guy I want the moment, Like if it was basketball, he needs to go up there, right? When they call timeout and it's 5 seconds left or 3 seconds left, one shot, last shot, he needs to be there and saying, I'm taking this shot, bro. I'm going to take the shot. I don't think he's that. He don't got that. I feel like he goes up there, it's almost like he's 6'7", but when I don't know, man. I went back, look, because yesterday I had a different opinion, but I went back and watched those at bats again this morning after watching Uncle Tats and them, because I was like, man, you know what? Yeah, what they're saying is right, and I let me go back and see. And man, you could tell he's 6'7", man, but in that big moment, man, he might as well have been Altuve. He might as well have been 5. He might as well have been 5'4", because you could tell he didn't want to be the guy. He didn't want to take that bat. How soccer they have in soccer they have the shoot off at the end. I don't know a lot about soccer, but when it's tie and everything, they're gonna have a kickoff. I think, and when they do the kickoff, and they're like, all right, I need 3 guys, or I need 1 guy to take one at bat. Let's say if baseball had that, right? If baseball had a thing where it's okay, or even like the All-Star game. Remember they had the home run derby or whatever at the end? I think if baseball had that, and they say, okay, Judge, you're the guy. Judge would be like, I don't want to be the guy though, and that you can't be like that, man. Unfortunately, you're the guy. You're getting paid like the guy. You taking on the role as Captain America and all this stuff. You got to go out there with a different mindset. I think that he needs to go out there with that Mamba mentality, that killer mentality. Like, yo, I'm gonna be this dude. You know, I think Bryce Harper got it. Look, because Bryce Harper sucked all WBC, but you could tell at that last moment, like he went up there, like I'm the fucking guy. I'm him. You know, like, I'm a freaking. We're gonna lay it all down right here. And I don't think Judge is that guy. I think Judge would have been very happy to just walk. Like he would have been. He gets very timid in those situations where he's like, I think he would have been very happy to just take a walk and be like, "Ooh, okay, it's not on me. They can't blame me anymore." It can't be like that, bro. Damn, this dude Carlos Legrand looks real good, man. And I know it's only spring training, but my goodness, the dude is I think he's earned the roster spot. You know what sucks too, right? For a kid like Carlos Legrand, and I know these guys are resilient. I'm sure but in his mind, I know in his mind, and also the players around there, they probably looking at him and like, yeah, he deserves to make it. And in his mind, he's like, bro, I deserve to make it. But the Yankees do shit like this all the time, and and I hope they don't. They do stuff like this all the time where they'll let you fucking lift yourself up to the point where you're like, yes, like I'm doing it just to go and be like, yeah, you're doing great, but we want you to start off at AAA and see what you could do down there. And he don't want to hear that, man. They'll do something like that, man. They'll shoot down a young prospect so fast. They'll make him feel like shit and send him back to the minors after he just earned a spot. Unless your name is Anthony Volpe. If your name is Anthony Volpe, you're good. But we've seen that plenty of times too. TC says Judge looks like he's no, I disagree with you, TC. He has this emotion. It's not that he doesn't care. I think that he really gets timid, man. He doesn't go up there like that killer anymore, you know? Like I don't need him to do like Bryce Harper, like running around the base and doing all that or trying to pump up your team and everything. I'm more looking like, because you could do all that stuff, right? You could be in the dugout yelling at everybody, like, let's say, let's go, let's go. You can do all that and still go out there and suck at the plate. I think I agree with Welkin, man. I think he gets scared a little bit, man. You know, and not even scared of the moment. I think he's scared to fail. It's gotten in his head so much. He's scared to make a mistake, It happens, yo. It's normal. Especially when you haven't come through at all many times. That's why I told my son. Sometimes my son does that, right? When he plays. Especially and this is a perfect example, right? Remember Chuck Knobloch and the Yips? I don't know if you ever played, right? My son is starting to get that a little bit because he's starting to get erratic with his throws. So he's gotten so wild a little bit with his throws that now he's so scared to throw the ball away that he throws the ball away, And that's what I tell him, yo, you're so scared to make an error on the throw that you're just gonna keep making errors. You gotta be free when you play, And I think Judge has that symptom right now where he's so scared to mess up that he freezes up and he ends up messing up anyway. Some people get the yips like that. Remember Chuck Knobloch where he couldn't make the throw from second base to first. And at first it was just like, okay, he threw it away. Big deal. The second one was like, all right. And then he's thrown into the stand. And then it got in his head where he's like, every throw you can tell he was aiming it so hard and it was still getting thrown away. And sometimes, man, baseball's psychological like that, man. It happens to players sometimes. It's happened to me when I played even younger. I used to, look, man, even Little League, I'm not acting like I was like great under pressure. If anything, I was really scared, dude. Really scared to go up to the plate in big situations. You feel it, In big situations, I was terrified, man. Terrified. And some people, they perform better under that pressure. Some people don't. I think that is all about I think with him, man, he just got to go up there, man, and just be him. Taking a 3-1 fastball right down the middle. A 3-1, we don't want you to do that, Judge. We want Austin Wells doing that, or a 3-0 fastball. We want other guys, doing that, trying to get a walk. We don't want you doing that, Judge. We want you swinging that shit in the zone, bro. That's what we want. We don't want you swinging outside the zone. Don't get me wrong. But when it's in the zone, man, and that's the thing, like with a guy like Barry Bonds or Aaron Judge, who walks so much because pitchers are afraid to pitch in the zone. When you get your pitch, you gotta attack, bro. You gotta attack. I don't care what the count is. You get your pitch, you swing at your pitch. And he didn't do that yesterday. This is often, man, with him. And that tells me, right, from my experience, that tells me that he's, that he's scared of the moment. Like instead of being the alpha, instead of having that alpha mentality, like, yo, I want to be the guy. Don't walk me. I feel like he's perfectly content with taking a walk in a big situation, which is okay, right? But we want him to get the hit, If anybody's going to do it, it should be him. And he plays like a little man in the big situation instead of playing like a big man. He plays like he's freaking I don't know. He's playing like he's Ryan McMahon in the big situation when we need him to be Aaron Judge in the big situation, right? A guy like Ryan McMahon, we like, man, you better not swing at 3-0, A guy like Austin Wells, you better not swing at 3-0. Anthony Volpe, he swings at a 3-0 pitch. Hell no. But Judge, we want you to swing at that pitch, if it's in the zone. We want you. We don't need you taking pitches, right? We need you freaking slugging. John the Beagle Dad says this coach told him, be yourself, have fun, don't worry about the noise from the crowds. The noise from the crowds. I mean, you could say that all you want, but you're gonna, man. And when I was younger, they were relentless. I see these kids now and the umpires, they're like, oh, you can't say that. The chants that they would chant when I was younger playing in New York City, man, they were ruthless, man. They were ruthless, man. Man, there was so many. I mean, there was so many chants. Like the kids are rude. Now you can chant and scream and stuff, but you can't like antagonize the batter. Like it will be a whole crowd, the whole team, every time he's going to go swing, It was just crazy. Can I help you? No, just looking. They'll do stuff like that. We need water. The pitcher is a fish. They were ruthless, man, the kids. I think in the, man, look, late 80s, early 90s, the kids were freaking little demons, bro. They were freaking ruthless. I'm telling you. They were ruthless, especially in New York City. In New York City, bro, it was like, maybe like if you step on the crack, what he says, if you step on the crack, your mom smokes crack or something like that. We used to play that when we was younger. You'd be like, what? If you step on a crack in the sour, they'd be like, your mother smokes crack. I'm like, damn, bro. That's how I was back then in New York. Man, I was supposed to work on some things and I kind of lost my train of thought here. Yeah, but this is just a random stream, guys. For those of y'all joining, man, I was just trying to test this, score bug and this box score stuff and testing some other stuff that I haven't even tried. Let me try this though real quick. See if this works here. Damn. Aaron Judge, October 2022. Look, man, I'm going to be honest. As much as I love Judge, I can't. I've been trying to defend him, man. I've been trying to defend him because it's not like he's never had a clutch moment, right? Some people make it seem like that. It's not like he's never had a clutch moment. It's not like I'd rather have anybody else, right, on the team than Judge. I acknowledge the fact that he took a pay cut to stay on the Yankees because literally, man, he could have been a San Francisco Giant for $40 million more. Some people, when you look at these free agent countries, like, what's $40 million? Like, you're making 360. What's another 40? Another 40 is a lot of freaking money. Okay, that's generational wealth where his kids, his daughter, his daughter's daughters, and this is generational wealth. He could have got a lot more money and been right at home because he would have been pretty much in California. Could have got way more money in California, but he didn't want. He wanted to stay a Yankee. So I give him credit for that. So at the same time, look, as fans, I would say I understand everybody's like, oh, he's not clutching, but sometimes, man, let's also acknowledge the fact, bro, that he is him. He is him, right? We don't even make it to the playoffs without him. Even Team WBC, right? They don't make it to the finals without Judge, right? Let's not forget that big time throw to throw Tatis that changed the game. I think that throw versus DR changed the whole game. They stopped running. As soon as he made that throw, they literally stopped running. And if you've been watching DR the whole WBC, they were running the entire WBC. They were testing your gangster, That's how they played. And as soon as he made that throw to Tatis, all that stopped. All of that stopped. He changed the game in that game. So I give him credit for that. So I don't want to forget all that stuff. That's why I tell people, like, man, look, I get it. He didn't come through. He didn't come through in the big time at all. And he really hasn't, right? More times than not, he hasn't come through. But let's not forget, man, that he has made some huge plays, and we're not even in these moments without him. That's why I tell people every year with the Yankees, they're like, I'm like, look, without Judge, we don't even make it to the playoffs, right? And he is arguably the greatest hitter, one top 10, at least top 10, maybe even top 5 hitters of all time, in terms of OPS plus and in terms of all these metrics and the advanced metrics. He's one of the greatest hitters ever, man. So you gotta appreciate that. And I appreciate the fact that he even participated in the WBC, because to me, it was a lose-lose for him. He didn't have to do it. So, yeah, I know. Katie, what's up, Katie? Who's the best player to come out of New York City? In my opinion, Manny Ramirez. Manny Ramirez is the best player to come out of New York City. He's Dominican, and all that, but he was drafted and played in New York. He played for Washington Heights, played for Youth Service, which is a team that I play for too. The team that Adam Ottavino also played for. Dylan Betanzas played with them. Dylan Betanzas from my projects. I used to play with his brother. My brother used to play with Dylan back in the day. But Manny Ramirez, without a doubt, to me, Manny Ramirez is the best player. Well, I mean, in future, because then you got if we go back to like the old times, then maybe you could think of somebody else. But to me, Manny Ramirez. All right, let me see something here. This is Aaron Judge in October of 2018. See, this is what I'm saying. When people say that he's never had a good postseason, I'm like, what are you talking about? He's had some good postseasons, but I agree with Wilkins. But he haven't had that really big, huge moment, right? And he's never won. That's the problem, right? If he just wins, if the Yankees could win one for him, man, like just win one for Judge. My goodness, win one for Judge, man, to get this narrative off his freaking back. If he wins one, he'll be good. Look, Ohtani wasn't great in 2024 postseason or in the World Series. Granted, he got hurt later in the series. He wasn't great, but they won, so nobody even talks about it, right? Yeah. He's gonna have to win one, man. We gotta win one for the captain, man. For real. It'll be a shame, man, to be like Don Mattingly, to play your whole career and never win. And the season Don Mattingly retired, Yankees won. And I feel like, man, that's like, I hope that don't happen with Judge. With the year that he finally, takes off his jersey and retires is the year that freaking Yankees are gonna finally win again. Like, damn. It'd be the greatest Yankee to never win. Yeah, but but what I'm saying is, but I just pulled up. Judge was great in 2018. He was great in 2025. He's had great postseasons, bro. That's what I mean. He's had great ones. He just haven't had that. He never won. He's got to win, bro. If he look, if Judge at least had a ring, we wouldn't even be talking about this. We know, like, yeah, he has sometimes he don't come through, whatever, but they won. We wouldn't even be talking about it, right? But the fact that he's never won, man, it's gonna be, the fact that he never won it is what it is. Let me tell you something, right? Did Juan Soto come through in the WBC? Did he come through in USA versus DR? Granted, there was some bad calls on him. Did Tatis come through? Did Otani come through for Japan in his last at bat? See, this is what I mean. And look, and that's not giving. I'm not trying to make excuse for Judge. I'm just saying that with Judge, it stands out more because he's never won nothing, right? Soto, we already know he's won before. He's had the great clutch moments and everything, and he's won some. Same thing with Otani. Tatis never won, but we already know that dude's a dog. With Judge, man, we're not. He's got to win one, man. I feel for the dude. I really do. He's got to win one. So if the Yankees make it to the postseason this year, which I anticipate they will, hopefully Cashman and Hal, they make some moves to get some more help for him. Because right now I don't think that in this roster he got much help. But he's gonna have to do it again, man. He's gonna have to, I don't know, he's gonna have to freaking really just put the team on his back like Jordan and do it in a big way for the monkey to come off his back. We thought he shaked the demon last year. He didn't. And it sucks. So this is why I say, like, Judge, this is why I say, man, he didn't have to do this WBC. And honestly, if I was his advisor, right, if I was just somebody advising him on a career standpoint, like just for his career, and money-wise and everything, I would have told him, don't play in the WBC. What do you got to gain, right? For Judge, you just came off one of the greatest postseasons ever. You batted 500 in the postseason. You finally had your moment where nobody could say you're not clutch. And you want to put yourself in that situation again, where if you lose, you suck, and if you win, you were supposed to win. Look who you're facing. Look at the team you have. It was a lose-lose for him. I'm glad that he did it. It was a lose-lose, and especially if you're gonna go out there and act timid at the plate in the biggest spot. He shouldn't have even went. He should have stood at spring training and be like, I'm good, and and we wouldn't even be having this conversation now. This whole season, right? The whole season, everybody's gonna be like, yeah, because he's gonna do good, and I'm like, yeah, but is he gonna do good in the postseason? He ain't clutch. So he's gonna do good all regular season, and we're like, yeah, but he sucks. He's a regular season player. When he didn't, and all because he did the WBC. He didn't have to do the WBC. If he didn't do the WBC, if he would have skipped the WBC, we wouldn't even be talking about that. We'd still be saying he was great last postseason. That makes sense, guys? So I disagree. This team looks stacked. I know. No, yeah, you're disagreeing, but you don't understand what I'm saying, though. I'm just saying that he didn't have to do it. If they would have won, the team was so stacked that if they would have won, they would have said, yeah, well, you're supposed to win. Look who you got. And if they would have lost, and if they lost like they did, they're gonna be like, oh, how'd you lose? You suck. That's what I'm saying. I think that it was in Judge's best interest, right? In Aaron Judge's best interest to not do the WBC. And he did it though. So we got to give him credit for that. The same thing with being a Yankee. So, and look, I'm not trying to, this is why I say, like, you got to give Judge a little bit of credit, right? Obviously, he hasn't come through, right? We know that. But the fact that he's wearing the Yankees jersey, we got to give him credit for that because he don't got to be. He didn't have to. Guys, you understand what I'm saying? Like, he didn't have to. The same way he didn't have to wear the WBC. He didn't have to. In fact, it would have been better for him to not wear it, to not be in the WBC. The same thing, it would have been better for Judge to go to the Padres for $50 million more, So at the same token, let's give the man a little respect, man, That's all I'm saying, man. Let's not drag him through the mud that much, man. Call it out. Yeah, you dude. Like I'm saying, like I said it myself. He looked timid out there. He wasn't clutch. He looked scared of the moment. Okay. But there's also acknowledge the fact that, bro, that he was there, right? A lot of players didn't even want to play there, That's all I'm saying. The same with, like, Yankee fans want to drag him in the mud. Hey, man, the fact that he remained a Yankee and took a pay cut, he didn't have to do that, bro. Most people don't do that anymore. He took a pay cut to stay with the Yankees. So let's at least give him credit for that, man. No, I disagree with you 100%, Welkin. If I was Judge's advisor for his career, the WBC would have done nothing for him. You understand? It's too much of a risk. The risk versus reward wasn't worth it. You understand? That's what I mean. The risk versus reward for Judge wasn't worth it. The same way it wasn't worth it for Tariq Skubal, And I'm putting my patriotism for my country, I'm putting all that aside, right? Coming off of the postseason he had last year, I think that he if he would have skipped the WBC, it would have been better for him, And obviously, look, right? Don't you agree? Now, in hindsight, I'm saying this in hindsight. Don't you agree? Because if he would have said, yeah, I'm not playing in the WBC, nobody would even batted an eye. We would have even cared. I'd be like, okay, it is what it is. But now he's going to have everywhere he goes, right? After he just shook that monkey, he just shook the clutch monkey off his back last postseason. And now he got to go into this season with that monkey right back on his back. And that's why I say, he didn't have to do it. Guys, I'm telling you, he really didn't. He didn't. Why did Max Fried didn't do it? Max Fried didn't do it either. He's probably like, man, so they could tell me I'm not clutch, go out there. And look, and I get it, that's not the right attitude. You want to be a competitor and go out there, but look, the WBC is great. Don't get me wrong. It is great. But WBC ain't paying the bills, right? The WBC, yeah, there's some legacy there, but I promise you, right? If Aaron Judge wins the World Series this year, we won't even mention the WBC. It won't even. It'll be like it never happened. You feel me? So to me, a World Series is more important. Your team, right? And I get it. So I understand why some players from DR and these guys feel differently. I get it, right? Coming from where they come from. But the Yankees should mean a lot more than Team USA, right? To Aaron Judge. Despite what he said, when he said that he never said that the WBC means more than a World Series. He didn't say that. A lot of people try to freaking I can't even talk, man. A lot of people try to put words in his mouth like he said that. He never said that the WBC was bigger than the World Series. He said that the crowd, right, the atmosphere in the stadium was more electric, right? Was crazy. It was better than the World Series. That's what he said. and not taking nothing away from World Series. A World Series is more important than a WBC, in my opinion, any day of the week, right? It's way more important. And it's harder. I think a World Series is way harder to get. And you got to go through 162 games, and it's much harder. No, but see, but that's the thing as an advisor, right? Sometimes, we saying this in hindsight, but these guys who manage, like these handlers and these agents and these guys that manage these guys, they foresee things, right? They weigh risk versus reward. Like for Tarek Skubal, right? Same thing with Tarek Skubal. A lot of people are mad at him. Let me tell you something, bro. If I got $400 million on the table, and there's a chance, right? Even though I want to pitch, I want to play for my country, I want to do it, but there's a chance. Maybe it's a small chance, right? Maybe even it's a small chance, but there is a chance that I could fuck up $400 million if I pitch one more game for Team USA. I'm not doing it, bro. You understand? Like, and that's why I say the judge didn't have to do it. And obviously, I think even before he did it, and I was saying this even before, I was happy that he was going to play in the WBC as a fan. But if I was a career coach or for his career, I would have told him, don't do it. Why risk it? You're coming off of an elbow injury at the end of the season.
At Rafael Corrales-G2B says, the Yankees WBC, that's why we lost. Yankees are cursed.
He said Yankees are cursed. You know what? I appreciate
it. Rafael Corrales-G2B says, the Yankees WBC, that's why we lost. Yankees are cursed.
I appreciate it, Rafael, man. Thank you for the super chat. You know what, man? You're probably right, man. The Yankees definitely are cursed. And a lot of it is our own doing. A lot of it is our own doing. And I think that the energy from WBC, Team USA, and the energy from the Yankees is kind of the same. And that energy is entitlement to me. Like, I think the Team USA were just entitled. Like, they walked in here. They came to the stadiums. They came into this tournament like they didn't have to play, They came to the tournament like they were going to win. They were entitled. Like, hey, we're here now. We're the Americans, We're the best team ever assembled. And, yeah, they were a great team on paper. Like the Yankees. A lot of years, the Yankees are a great team on paper. But when, putting it in practice.
At Rafael Corrales-G2B says, the Yankees WBC, that's why we lost. Yankees are cursed.
Yeah, man. The Yankees probably are a little cursed, unfortunately. Scuba still should have sat like Crochet. What he did was way worse. Garrett Crochet didn't even pitch. Look, Garrett Crochet could have pitched, but he was like, look, man, I just freaking pitched a ton of innings for the Red Sox last year. My arm needs a break. I'm not going to go out there and risk it. He put the Red Sox over and the same thing. Look, Judge could have did the same thing coming off of injury. Look, I get it. The one thing Judge has to prove is to win. But even if he would have won, look, see, it was to me, Judge in the WBC was a lose-lose situation from the get. He shouldn't have done it. I'm glad he did, though, right? As a fan, we glad he did, but he shouldn't have done it. Because even if he would have won, they would have said, yeah, but it's not a World Series. Oh, yeah, but look at your team, though. He only had there was nothing really to gain from the WBC from him. He only could have lost, right? And he did. Right? With Judge, man, look, until he wins a ring, ain't nothing he could do. He could go out this year and break Barry Bonds' record, right? Judge could break the home run record and win a triple crown this year. And if he doesn't win the ring, if he doesn't perform in October, it don't mean shit, bro. He's gonna get slings and arrows like he always does. My goodness. And most of those arrows are coming from Welkin, man. Welkin is the only Yankee fan I know that hates his team so much, bro. Well, what we trying to, man? I think Welkin is I think he's low key really a Dodgers fan or something, a Blue Jays fan. He says that's where the fan does. People put words in his mouth, but I agree with him that the crowd at WC, the crowd was way better. That it was different. You can't lie, man. That WBC energy is different, especially with Venezuela fans and Dominican fans and stuff. Is way different. Hey, Fuqua, man. See, you haven't been here for a while. Fuqua, I'm calling you out. You should know better. It's not exclamation point. It's dollar sign. Dollar sign troll, Fuqua. Welkin says, no, bro, you single me out. I'm just messing with you, Welkin, man. I just like, because I agree with a lot that you say, man. Like, no, that's the thing, man. I'm not disagreeing with you a lot of times. I'm just trying to spread a little positivity, man. Like, if not, look, if I thought like that and I felt like this team has absolutely no chance, they suck. Jazz, you freaking suck. Max Fried ain't shit. He sucks in the postseason. Aaron Judge sucks in the postseason, and all this. Look, a lot of that is true, right? A lot of that is true, Welkin. But if I thought like that, then why would I sit here every single day and watch the game like I'm watching right now? Why would I sit here every day with you guys talking about my team? Why would I, like I gotta have some kind of hope, man, some faith that this team could do something, right? And I do. Granted, it's a lot I don't like from the Yankees, right? It's a lot I don't like from Judge, a lot from all these guys, but I do feel like this is still my team, right? It's like a family member, like family, right? I have family members that I don't particularly like that much, and I disagree with them wholeheartedly. But that's family, That's family. So I'm gonna stick up for them. I'm gonna be with you. I hope, does that make sense, guys? Like, and that's how I feel about the Yankees. Even with Boone, look, I criticize Boone and I think he should be fired. I think all that. But when I hear other people talking shit about him, I feel some type of way, kind of, because especially other fan bases, because I'm like, look, man, I get it, but he's still our manager. That's my guy, Like, talk shit about, especially Met fans. I'm like, what about your manager, Carlos Mendoza? Shit, he ain't too much better. Are you talking about our manager? Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yankees lose. You know why Welkin says he's optimistic about Wells, Cabby? Man, I wasn't optimistic about Wells, but after watching him in the WBC, I don't know. I have a little more, I don't know, he kind of grew on me. I have a little more appreciation for the dude. I don't know why, right? I don't know why. I'm pulling for Austin Wells, man. I think that there's potential there that he hasn't unlocked yet. And I say that, but I'm also say this, right? 2 months from now, if he's batting 125 or 198, yeah, all that shit is out the window, bro. Disregard everything I said. Like, then we go back to hating Wells. Look, I mean, I'll say it again. He has potential. He has potential. But and he's a good catcher behind the plate. But we're not gonna act like he's lived up to his hitting potential. He has, I don't care, 400 at bats. He's had we've had a good enough sample size, right? He had 400 at bats last year. We've had a good enough sample size of Wells to be able to judge him, right? Now, look, this year, if he bats the same numbers this year, I'm not, look, I don't hate it because I know it could be worse than that, but I'd like some improvement, man. Not even by much. I just like him to improve a little bit behind the plate and have some big moments too. We need him. Look, we need somebody on this team to freaking clutch up and be the guy, like, be that guy that we can rely on to be clutch. You know, maybe Cabby could be that guy. We don't have a lot of those in the scene. Raphael says, we Dodgers fans want us Yankee fans, we don't want you guys. Me personally, the Yankees, man, look, I think the Yankees are close to being a truly contending team. They just need to make a move, like a big move. You know, I look at like Mason Miller, right? Looking at Mason Miller, like, and this is what I said about the Yankees always, that Cashman will make a move, but he never makes the move, right? There's always, the Yankees will sign somebody, the Yankees will trade for a player, but they never trade for the guy. We did it once with Soto, and look, we made it to the World Series. You know, last year, yeah, we got David Bednar, we got Duvall and all these guys for the bullpen, and those were good moves. But they weren't great moves. They weren't Mason Miller, even though I don't think we had enough to get him, right? They weren't Durant. They weren't the really big dogs, you know? The Yankees need to go back to getting the big dogs. That's what they need to do. They need to go back to getting the big dogs, trading these prospects. Fuck it, right? Just trade them. You don't use them anyway. You might as well just trade them. If you're not going to play them, trade them, you know? Walker says, yep, Weathers instead of Alcantara, Peralta. The whole Peralta thing, man, I would say that the Mets, man, they overpay, but that's what, like, the Yankees, they could have gave a better offer, right? They could have matched that offer from the Mets, but they don't have the balls to do it. They don't have the nuts to do it, man. And then, I'm telling you, 3 years from now, well, I'm not even sure what they really wanted for Peralta. Let me say that first, because there's some people that I agree are off the table, right? Like, I would agree, I'm not trading I'm not playing Cam Schlittler in that deal. No way, Jose. You know? So it depends what they were asking for, but we've passed up, man. We've passed up on so many trades. We've passed up on so many big-time trades for prospects that never worked out. That never even cracked the big league team, you know? And literally, man, the Yankees, I would say this with the Yankees, like, they need to change their approach to the organization. Like, what they're doing doesn't work. Clearly, it doesn't work. So it's time to change it. Yeah, that Bellinger contract. And you know what's funny, Woken, that when they signed Bellinger, hold on, let's listen to Garrett Cole real quick.
It works out that way. We had team defense today, and I didn't get to participate in it, but yeah, 2 backups, couple picks, bunt defense. Looks like I got my PFPs in anyway, so.
A lot happened in those 10 pitches. What do you ultimately take away from that one inning?
I feel good coming out of it. I had fun out there, and that's really about it.
I know you've taken countless drives to the ballpark over the last year to rehab. What did the drive today feel like for you?
It was.
Cole got a little beard on him.
A little bit,
look at that beard.
a little more exciting.
Yeah, real quick, I don't want to get copyrighted.
I got to play today, and not too much traffic. So all in all, it was a good day from start to finish.
You know, one thing we've noticed this spring, you having an overhead windup now, and I know you've talked about how much comfort it's given you in this moment right now, but as someone who appreciates the history of pitching, when you first started tweaking with the overhead windup, was there any particular pitcher that came to mind from the past?
Unfortunately, no. I mean, I think generally we think about the overhead as maybe a few decades ago. There are still some guys that do it now. But no, there wasn't one specific person that I was emulating. I guess Gator just walked by, so if I had to pick anybody, it'd be Ron.
Good timing there. From all you've been told about pitchers trying to get...
Enough of that. Raphael says Yankees are playing dodgeball. I tell you what, man, if you could dodge a wrench, you can dodge a dodgeball. Walker says, you know me, I was not high on Dominguez, but I'd rather play him than Bellinger's contract. The thing with Bellinger's contract, man, is that, like, even if they, I think it's gonna burn us later, right? I'm happy that he's on the team. different. The money, though, the same thing with Trent Grisham. It's not, if they would have brung back Trent Grisham for $8 million for one season or 2 years, we would have been like, whatever. But it's not. It hurts more that you give him $22 million. That's what really hurts, right? The same thing with Cody Bellinger. It hurts that he's making $52.5 million this year. $52.5 million this year. Like you could have got Bo Bichette, you could have got Kyle Tucker. And I like Bellinger, but my goodness, is he worth $52.5 million? I don't think so, man. I don't think so. Yeah, man, my stream I just got a copyright claim for the last night's stream. That's why sometimes it's hard to like post, like show any kind of footage of anything when I'm live streaming, man, because they be killing me. So all that work, even though I would have made like probably $3 on that stream, I probably would have made $3, but still, like, it's not the point. The point is that they take all of it. 5. So I'm gonna trim out the segments now. Bro, I got a copyright claim for 3 seconds. And it's all that Caminero, Sean Jr. Caminero's interview. Never again will I do that. Yeah, that's how it is. I mean, it's all good. I don't care. I was going to make $2 off of it. Who cares? Chris the Flash. Oh my goodness, bro. Chris the Flash, man. Where the hell have you been, dude? That's my bro right there, man. Me and Chris used to do the overnight shows, man, at 3 a.m. out here arguing about freaking Anthony Volpe and Alex Rodriguez. Those are the days, man. You watch on the TV? Man, you got the MLB The Show 26. Who got MLB The Show 26? I'm about to buy that shit and start challenging people on this. Yeah, you too, man. I mean, it is what it is. I knew that was going to happen. I tried. It's not a big. It will hurt more like for big YouTubers, right? Who are actually making money on this is different, because a copyright claim could cost them hundreds or if not thousands of dollars, right? It could cost them. For me, it cost me $2 or whatever I was gonna make on that video, $1.50 sometimes not even $1. So it's like whatever. It's not a big deal. I appreciate it, man. Are you about to get it? MLB The Show 26. Yeah, I think I'm a cop it, and I don't know, man. We should play. We should do like a tournaments online, or we could stream it. That'd be dope too. Kevin says he's praying. We have Jones, J-Dom, everyday player soon. I don't think that's gonna happen, brother. Is it rated so low? I don't know. I haven't even played it. Nothing. When I like playing MLB The Show, but I'm different. Like I will play like Diamond Dynasty and go online and play versus people. Some of them guys are so good, like playing ranked. I just like I like doing like I used to like doing like Stadium Creator, and I like doing the I just like collecting cards. I like the marketplace, and I'll buy players and then sell them for a little bit more and make a profit, and then buy again and sell. That's what I do, man. It's like, I don't know, it's like the stock market almost. And I'll just keep doing that till I get enough to get the players I want. That's what I like doing. The Cole is something special. Yeah, man. You saw how Alex Cora had him freaking lay down a drag bunt on Cole, the first pitch. That was a real sleazy move by Alex Cora. That's some real like F you to Garrett Cole type deal, man. That's like laying down a bunt when a pitcher's pitching a no-hit or a freaking perfect game. That's like the equivalent to me. This dude hasn't pitched in a year and a half. You know he's coming off of injury. You know he's getting up there in age, and you're gonna lay down a drag bunt and make him dive to first to try to get the run out. That was, hey, you gotta tip your cap though to Alex Cora, man. That dude is he's a ruthless manager. Dude does whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Not a pena. Monami Cinema. And Hedrick is. What are you doing, my guy? Pitching like ass right now. Brent Hedrick. Average pitch velocity 90.2. That ain't gonna cut it. You know, yesterday that USA game, it sucks, man. When they brung in Whitlock, I was like, really, dude? Like, I get it. He got some good movement on his pitches, but he that dude's throwing 90 miles an hour. Look, man, 90 ain't gonna cut it. The same thing with Ryan Yarbrough. 90 ain't gonna cut it. In the big leagues, man, if you're throwing 90 pool, if you're throwing 90, you better be perfect. You better be painting the black, painting corners. And you better have like a devastating changeup, something to go with it. But if you don't, man, that's literally just batting practice for these guys. Nanta Pena. The top pitch velocity was 100.9, and I guarantee you that was Carlos Lagrange. Ooh, my allergies. Oh my goodness. Damn. Oh. Chris says, "Okay, Chris, you know what I got now, Chris? I made this thing called receipts, brother. Where if you make a bold claim like you just made, he said he's predicting Judge finally has triple crown and he's hitting 65 home runs. Well, I made this thing called receipts where I lock it in and we'll come visit it later on in the season and see if you was capping or if you actually had a good take. So this is your receipt. I'm predicting Judge finally has triple crown and he's hitting 65 home runs. Gotcha. Raphael, do you got any receipts? Raphael says, Junior Corrales, Yankees. Oh, Raphael said that it's going to be Yankees versus Dodgers again this year. Hopefully, man. I hope you're right. And you said that. When you said that? You said that in February 22nd. Kelvin says he's predicting Jones takes Grisham's spot and leads us to number 28. You think that's, oh man, I don't know, bro. I think that's going to be Cap. Not because he shouldn't take his spot, but because I don't think Cashman will ever admit that he made a $22 million mistake. He just won't, you know. He's going to gaslight the shit out of the fan base. So, I don't know. That's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. I think hopefully Cabby could be that leadoff guy, man. I think he could be that leadoff guy. Oh, thank you. Raphael says, bless you. Appreciate it, man. I don't know. I've been having a lot of allergies lately. Oh, whew. I've been, I just started streaming because I wanted to test this, box score, and I also wanted to test this score bug and some other stuff I wanted to test. But not only that, I was waiting. I got to change my tire. And I'm waiting for the tire place to call me to tell me that they got the tires in so I could go do that. But they haven't. Yeah. Not a Pena. Yorbe Vivas. My man came up for a cup of coffee. That's another guy, man, that if he doesn't get traded to another organization or let go, he's never gonna be a big league player. You know, he needs to move to, and I'm not saying that he should be, because he had his chance. And he look last year. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now. Last year, the third base situation where we had Yorbe Vivas and Oswald Peraza platooning there. That was their opportunity. That was those two young men's opportunity to freaking win a big league job, and they didn't capitalize, man. They didn't do it. You know, they didn't do it, and unfortunately, he might never get another chance like that again. The same with Oswald Peraza. They might never get a chance like that again. Remember, Oswald Peraza was a highly touted prospect in the Yankees organization. He was a top prospect in the Yankees organization. That was a guy that we would not trade. The Yankees would not trade. This is a guy that Hal Steinbrenner himself, out of his mouth, said that the future middle infield involves Oswald Peraza. The future of the Yankees infield will have Oswald Peraza in there. And look how that worked out. And that goes to tell you, man, that sometimes these guys are so off. And not these guys. The Yankees organization, sometimes the way they project players is they're so off on some of these guys that it's incredible. You know, look at Caleb Durbin, man. You know, and I get it. At the time, I was cheering the trade for Devin Williams. Obviously, in hindsight, it was a fucking horrible trade. Devin Williams is the one that got away, I think. That is the guy that got away. Because Devin Williams, Caleb Durbin, I mean. Caleb Durbin's the one that got away. Just imagine, guys, if the Yankees don't trade Caleb Durbin for Devin Williams, right? He'd be the third baseman. He had a decent year. He'd still be like he was the missing piece that would have fixed a lot of the Yankees' problems last year. And they didn't, man. And we brought in Devin Williams, and obviously without Devin Williams, we probably win the AL East. It's just, man, yeah. Yep. Just Yorbe Vivas. Yeah, man. Kelvin hit the nail on the head. We always try to outsmart the game of baseball. And I think you know what it is, man? It's a lot of arrogance in this organization. Even with Cashman, like, it's been already said before, like, it's been leaked. It's been leaked that teams don't like dealing with Cashman because he overvalues his prospects. Like, he is asking for way too much. Even the Soto deal, look, that Soto deal, that wasn't a Cashman thing, right? When we got Soto, you need to say thank you to Big Papa Hal, right? Even though Hal been cheap lately, but you got to give credit to Hal, right? Hal was the one who gave the okay for that. Cashman didn't want to trade Michael King. He felt like it was too expensive. Remember, because it was during the winter meetings, and we all thought the trade was going to happen on a specific day, and it didn't happen. And there was leaks coming out that Cashman doesn't want to do it. The Yankees don't want to trade. They don't want to trade Michael King. They were trying to give him somebody else. I can't remember who instead of Michael King. And then the reports were that Hal just said, like, no, just make it happen. Because remember, that was coming off of 2023. We didn't make the playoffs. Season ticket sales, right? Remember this, guys? If you guys been watching, paying attention closely to Yankees stuff, after 2023, where we didn't even make the playoffs, season ticket sales were the lowest they've been in a very long time. And the Yankees, it was out there. This was public knowledge. The season ticket sales were down, and I think Hal was like, "Fuck it, man. Look, bring in Soto. We got to do something, right? This is unacceptable." When it hurts the bottom line, Hal cares, right? And he was like, "We got to do something. Make the trade. I don't care." And as soon as they made the trade, just to kind of galvanize the fan base, as soon as they made the trade, ticket sales shot through the roof again, for Juan Soto. So yeah, that was a Hal thing. Aaron Judge being a Yankee right today is, you know, it's not thanks to Cashman. Cashman was going to let him walk. Cashman was going to let Derek Jeter walk, bro. It wasn't Cashman. Aaron Judge is a Yankee today because of Aaron Judge wanted to be a Yankee and because of Hal Steinbrenner. That's it. You know? Yankees 1-0. Yeah, it don't even matter, man. At this point, man, I'd replace him with anybody. Kevin says, so we're basically the Cowboys then, stuck in the past, and Jerry Jones making stupid decisions. Yeah, but Jerry is different though, because this is why you need a general manager though. Jerry Jones, he's just doing shit, man. What he said, he don't deal with agents. He deals straight with the players or some shit. Like, I don't know. Jerry Jones he's out of touch too. And then the Yankees, and when I say the Yankees, I mean like the brass, right? The top guys, the Yankee brass, they're out of touch with the fan base, guys. And they've been out of touch for a long time now. It's not even something that just happened. A lot of fans are now just starting to wake up and say, yeah, we see it. You know, it's time for change and all this stuff. But the Yankees brass has been out of touch with his fan base for over a decade now. Over a decade. Since they fired Joe Girardi, I think. This guy. And before that it was getting bad. When they fired Joe Girardi, I think that was their downfall, man. That was the downfall. And I'm not saying that Joe Girardi is the freaking greatest manager. He's not Joe Torre. He's not freaking I don't know, Jimmy Lee. Put any manager there, right? He's not them. I'm not saying that. But when they bring in Aaron Boone, man, that you could tell that a change happened in this organization. Something happened with his organization. You can see with the players, you can see in the dugout. It's never been the same, you know? It's never been the same. Yeah, let me tell you something. And you know, a lot of people, they give Yankee fans a lot of hate. And I understand. Like, to me, honestly, like we haven't won in 16 years now, right? That's why I tell people, look, my son is a teenager. He's never witnessed the Yankees win anything. He don't even know how that feels. It's never happened to him, you know? So sometimes I feel like, man, it's like people just want to hate the Yankees. I'm like, look, dude, don't look this way, man. We suffering over here as Yankee fans. Trust me. As Yankee fans, it fucking sucks to be a Yankees fan right now. Especially like the last few years. The last few years, man, being a Yankee fan, it sucks, man. It's embarrassing the last few years. But it is what it is. As Stanton, man, Stanton looked like he pulled something, guys. Oh, shit, here we go. This is why I said put him on ice. He's going to finish that bat, but my goodness, dude. Big G. I don't know. He looked like he tweaked something there for a second. Man, Big G's a dude that, like, bro, if I was the Yankees, man, I'd tell him, look, here's a flight to fucking Cancun. Go hang out there for a few months. We'll see you in August. We'll see you in August. Come here, Roxy. My dog is, come here. You want to play? You want to play? Raphael, appreciate you, man. He says, laughing out loud. Are you laughing at the Giancarlo stand? Look how he's walking back. He's hobbling back to the dugout. Yeah, man. I'm giving him a nice all-paid vacation to Cancun until August. Come here, Roxy. My dog wants to play. She's distracted me. Also, it's the fact that we get embarrassed. Yeah, man. Look, I'm gonna remind you. This is how embarrassed we were last year.
Yankees lose.
Wilkin said he fouled it off his nuts. That's why. I bet you he wasn't even wearing a cup either. That dude, he doesn't play the field. You know he's not wearing a cup. And he got to do a cup check. I bet you that's what Boone went out there. He said, yo, you got your cup? He was like, nah, bro. You know I ain't wearing that. And I didn't mean good for potential injury. Oh, man. The disconnect happened during the 2009 World Series parade. I noticed the change immediately back then and lost interest after that. You saying the change happened during the parade? You noticed that? I was happy as hell during the freaking World Series parade. I remember that parade too. I was in the Army, right? I was stationed in Fort Stewart. And when the Yankees won, because I've never missed a parade and since I've been alive, right? And so the Yankees won the World Series. I'm stationed in Fort Stewart, Georgia, which is like, if you're familiar with Georgia, it's like 45 minutes away from Savannah, Georgia, right? So Yankees win. We had a 4-day, right? We had like a weekend. And the parade was like on a Friday, I think, or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, I drew as soon as formation, right? 'Cause we have a formation, we there formed up. As soon as they were like dismissed, I jumped in my car and I drove 12 hours to New York straight. I drove straight to New York City. I was not missing that parade for nothing, even though I was supposed to too, because you got to get like a pass to go that far. You can't go further than like 250 miles. I was out of there, bro. I freaking went straight to New York City for the weekend and drove straight back just in time for a freaking formation the following Monday. Good times, man. Definitely good times. So you're telling me Jones will be out? What do you mean? Yeah, those are the good days, man. When I was in the military. When I first joined the Army, it was different. Now the Army's a lot different. I'm not in the Army no more, but it was I got some stories, man. I met some funny characters, some funny people in the Army, man, from all over the country too, all over the world. Oh, it had some good times and some bad times too, some sucky times and some really good times though too. You meet some characters, man. Definitely meet some characters out there. And let me see. Red Sox. Can you guys see the like the info under the score bug? Or is it too small? I could barely see, but I don't have my glasses though. Do something. I'm gonna take this off. It's small? Yeah, man. So it's sticky. The thing is, if I make it bigger, then it's just too big. So I don't know. I might just do away with that. Especially if I have this right side open, then I don't even need that. Take that down. Hold on. Oh, the game is over. Let me put a different game. Okay, let's see this here. Anyway, let's see what I'm interested in. What did Trent Grisham do today? He's like the target. He's in my crosshairs this year. Oh, he didn't even play. He didn't play, so he gets a pass today. Not a lot of offense though. Not a lot of offense at all, man. That's crazy. How did they score a run? I missed it, bro. How the hell did the Yankees score? They only won 1-0. Freaking 0-1 hit. Hold on, man. This can't be right. 5 left. Base. Damn, that dude Connolly early. We saw him last postseason. He's gonna be a problem. 5 innings, 7 Ks on 75 pitches, only 2 walks, only gave up 1 hit. Yeah, he's a problem, man. He's a problem. Boston is no joke, man. I think we sleeping on Boston a little bit. Don't sleep on Boston. They're gonna be better than we think. Obviously, Garrett Cole. It's a lot of striking out, man. Connolly early, play at the game. Yeah, freaking 7 strikeouts, 5 innings, 1 hit only. Cole bats. Ben Rice 0 for 3 strikeouts. You know what, man? Let me tell you something. He didn't do good versus Connolly early in the postseason last year either. Ben Rice Ben Rice is one that he has a severe hole in his swing. He can't hit those breaking stuff low and in, man. He cannot hit him. Them spinners, them spinning pitches low and in, he can't hit it. He could demolish a fastball, but he can't hit those low and in breaking stuff. He swings right over it 100% of the time. And he looked very bad versus Connolly early. He looked bad versus him last season. I need Ben Rice to do better, man. Look, we cannot have Ben Rice be a guy that can only play versus right-handed pitchers. Versus right-handed pitchers. Because Goldie ain't that guy no more. Goldie, I think he still can hit lefties good, but he's not a guy that you want playing 4 days a week. We need Ben Rice to hit lefties better. He has to, man. He has to. If not, he's just going to be a platoon guy forever. And we don't need that. Too much platooning. The Yankees do too much platooning, man. We need freaking guys who you can put them in lefty versus or righty, you know? Or error by the catcher, that's how they score. Yeah. Well, Chivilli got the save, I guess. I don't know. You look surprised. That's how bad they are both. No, Boston's pretty good. I'm not surprised. Like, I've been telling people, don't sleep on Boston, man. And this is why I could see a scenario with the Yankees where it could be a disaster season. Because Boston, every team has gotten better. Boston got better. Blue Jays got better. I would say they got better, even though they lost Bo Bichette. I'd say they're a little bit better than last year. And the Orioles got better, right? And these are the teams that we're going to face the most. And they all got better. I don't know, man. It could be bad for the Yankees, man. I could see a scenario where they win 84 games or something like that. You know? I hope not. The offense just, man, look. And it's like that with the youth team. The offense just isn't there, man. Whenever you got a pitcher who's halfway decent, this offense just freaking, they just suck, man. I feel like every 1 through 9, they just guessing. They guessing pitchers up there. Just looking at today's game, I'm not really, I get it's only spring training, but at this point of spring training, you got most of your starters playing. These are the guys who you're going to have playing during the regular season versus a pitcher who we're going to see in the regular season. Connolly early, he's the future of the Red Sox. And shout out to him too. He's an Air Force guy. This is a guy that we're going to be facing a lot in the future. And not a good look so far. You know, he made us look bad last October and today too. So, I don't know. You know, watch the Yankees versus Blue Jays? Yeah, man. I'm not going to lie. That's going to be a good one. When we finally face the Blue Jays, that's going to be a real test. When do we face them? Let me look at the schedule. Yankees schedule 2026. Okay, I'm looking at it now. March, obviously. Damn. We don't face the Blue Jays till like May. We don't face them till like the end of May. All right, so May 18th. By that point, look, we're already almost 2 months in. We're going to know a lot about this team May 18th. The Yankees' first game versus Blue Jays May 18th. And it's a 4-game set. And they better freaking win that series, man. Because we got to show these guys that we're still the top dogs in the AL East. If not, then it's going to be a long season. Long season. Long. Yeah, May 18th they play them. Okamoto looks like trash on third base. Oh, yeah, the defense is not there. We'll see, though, man. The hitting is supposed to be there. We're going to find out. We're going to find out. I think they got better, though, because they got Dylan Cease. And I get it, right? They overpaid for him, and he's not the greatest either. But I think he's going to be better than what we think, man. Hopefully I'm wrong, right? Hopefully the Yankees freaking, take the division with ease. Hopefully these guys ain't as good as we thought they were going to be. That'd be nice, but we got to see. I'm trying to do something. Anyway, yo, man, that's going to do it for me. I'm going to try to, I want to do like I don't know if Kelvin's here and Welkin. I want to do another open panel. I was supposed to do it last week, but, the WBC games are on and I didn't want to go on while the games are on. So you got to do another open mic. If you guys want to join, man. Yeah, Kelvin, man, hit me up on my email. My emails should be in the description somewhere. Hit me up. You too, Welkin and stuff. So if I do it, I could give y'all the heads up if y'all want to join and stuff.
At Rafael Corrales-G2B says, you guys have 2 months, no excuses. Yankees, we Dodgers fans want you.
At Rafael Corrales-G2B says, you guys have 2 months, no excuses. Yankees, we Dodgers fans want you.
I don't know why you want us, man. I guess we're easier than the Blue Jays, apparently. First of all, thank you, Rafael, man. I appreciate the super chat. I don't want the Dodgers, man. Look, I'll be honest, and this is from a Yankee fan. Right now, the way our team, I don't think we don't stand a chance versus Dodgers right now, right? Hopefully, things change. Hopefully, some players play a lot better than we thought. Hopefully, we make some trades, things like that, right? But right now, I wouldn't want to go up against the Dodgers. I don't see how we beat them, I don't see how we beat them. We can't hit them. We can't hit their pitchers, first of all, and they crush us. You saw it, We saw it in the World Series in 2024. Then last year when we played them in LA, we got rocked, absolutely rocked. They rocked Max Fried. They rocked Will Warren. Yeah, the Yankees got to make some. And, I'm going to be honest, man. Everybody keeps saying the Yankees have the best rotation. Do we? I get it maybe to go through 162, right? But do we have the best rotation? Would you say, right, in a 7-game series, Yankees versus Dodgers, right? With the rosters we got now, do you think the Yankees have a better rotation than the Dodgers in a 7-game? You think that? I don't think so, man. Do you think the Yankees have a better rotation than the Dodgers, or the Yankees have a better rotation than even the Mariners in a 7-game series? Knowing what we know about some of our guys and how they perform versus certain teams or in certain moments in the playoffs and stuff, I don't think so, Ace. I think, look, if I had to put my money, this is from a fan, a Yankees fan. If I had to put my money on a rotation in a 7-game series, right? Who's gonna do better? The Dodgers or the Yankees? I'm going with the Dodgers, bro. I think that their rotation is better. They're more proven, right? Don't get me wrong. Throughout the course of 162, I think we have the depth to get through a season and get a lot of wins, possibly, right, from our starting rotation. But in a 7-game series, with a guy like Yamamoto, Blake Snell, Ohtani, if you want to throw him in there, I think that the Dodgers have the upper hand with the rotation. And I'm basing this off the fact that from what I saw, I'm basing this off of what I saw last year against the Blue Jays, how this rotation wasn't there. Just wasn't. Hopefully I'm wrong. We'll see. Can we fight the Twins in the World Series? Oh, man, that'd be nice. Yeah, Schiller's good, man, but I don't think even him is not enough, man. I don't look. I hope I'm wrong. Like I'm gonna be optimistic, and I think we could beat it, but we'll see, man. We'll see. There's a lot of. I'll say this, right? If everything goes right, oh man, this Yankees team could be deadly. But there's still a lot of question marks, and nothing. It never goes. It never goes how you plan, right? Everything doesn't always go right. It just doesn't. And there's a lot of question marks, right? That's how I feel, man. There's a lot, and there's a lot more question marks than there is than guarantees on this Yankee team, right? We know what Judge is bringing, right? We know that. Everybody else, we don't know. We don't know what Trent Grisham's bringing. We hoping he gives us what he gave us last year, but we don't know, right? Same thing with Cody Bellinger. We hoping he could give us a season like last year, hopefully better than that. But we don't know, because if you look at his other seasons, like he's been up and down, up and down. Ben Rice, we don't know, because last year was his first good season, and we don't know, can he figure out the lefties? Can he figure out that low breaking pitch? Giancarlo Stanton, is he gonna be healthy? Is he gonna be around? There's too many question marks. Cole, are we getting the same Cole when he comes back? How, same thing with Rodon, Volpe. There's so many question marks around this team. And you can say that a lot about a lot of teams, but I think more, even more so for the Yankees. They have a ton of question marks. And that worries me. But, right, if everything does go right, this team could be deadly. They could be really good. What's the hardest World Series ring you ever seen the Yanks win? I don't know. It's a good one. Maybe 96. I don't know. I remember 96 most vividly because it was the first time I seen them win. We were down 2 games, right? Atlanta came. If you remember 96, right? This was when Andrew Jones was like 18 years old, 19 years old, hitting freaking bombs at Yankee Stadium. Anyway, Atlanta took a 2-0 lead at Yankee Stadium, going to Atlanta to play them for 3 games. I think, that was tough. And Atlanta's pitching was lights out, man. They had freaking Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine, John Smoltz. They were stacked. Yeah, I think that was probably I think that was one that when we went down 2-0, a lot of fans, and I was young, man. I'm like 13 years old at this point. I'm talking about 1996 World Series. a lot of people gave up hope on them. A lot of people counted them out. It's over. You know, you're down 2-0 and now you're going to play 3 on the road. Yeah, not gonna happen. It was. I think that was probably the toughest one, man. That was the most to me. The one that I remember the most. That was a good year, man. 96, bro. Let me tell you something, man. When Jim Leyritz hit that 3-run home run to tie, it was like 6-3 Atlanta. When we playing in Atlanta. Remember? Oh, or was that the Indian? No, that was Atlanta. The Braves still. Oh, it was so, man. And he hit that home run. Remember Jim Leyritz? I wish I had a bat here. Jim Leyritz, he used to bat like this, look. And he's having his leg. I wish I could show you, man. I'll show you. He used to bat like this, look. And he used to do like this funky ass thing. It used to look like his leg was curved inward, right? And when he hit that home run, oh my God, dude. And after 13-year-old me, I lost my mind. It was on my birthday too, I believe. It was at October. Somebody look it up. October 23rd, 1996, when he hit that home run. I remember praying to God in my mind, like, please, for my birthday, let this dude let us make a comeback. And it was so lit that I could hear people out my window. People would I grew up in Lillian Wall projects. I could hear people yelling out the window and stuff, going crazy and stuff. It was man, it was epic. Damn, this fucking shit is. Oh my God, man, you guys, I'm gonna start. Look, I have a Discord. It's not. I don't really have nothing on it, but this is what I want to do. Right, I'm gonna set up a Discord, and I'm gonna add some stuff and everything. But in the Discord, I want to do like watch-alongs. Like we could watch movies together, or we could watch old games. It doesn't have to be Yankee games because there's so many classic games other than Yankee games, you know. But yeah, we could go back and rewatch these games, man. So you could feel the vibe, how it was crazy, man. Just crazy. Good times, man. I remember that World Series. When they won that year, man, I almost cried. For real. Like, it was that special, especially after 95. In 95, man, my heart was broken, dude. We were up 2-0 going into Seattle. I'm thinking, man, we're going to win this and move on. And we went to Seattle and the freaking, what they used to call the Seattle Dome. What was the dome called? The King Dome, was it? No. What was it called? I can't remember what it was called. But anyway, that place was loud as hell, man. And they rocked the Yankees. And Game 5, man, was a great game, too. That was another classic game. Another classic game. Good times. Good times. These are the... Anyway, folks, man, that's gonna do it for me. I gotta call these people and figure out I'll get my tire fixed today. I appreciate y'all, man. Yeah, email me. I'm gonna try to do the open panel. Probably do it Friday now that the WBC is not here no more. Yeah, man, and we will do it. And maybe, you know what? That's a good idea. You know what I want to do, especially for the Yankee fans or even just baseball fans. We could do like nostalgia night, like just kind of reminisce on old times, man. Like, my memory is not that good anymore, man. I've taken quite too many hits to the head, I guess. But man, if I think harder, I got so many stories, man. So many fun times, good stories. Especially, I don't know if my cousin Bam Bam's in here. My cousin Bam Bam, he's always in the chat. DJ Bam Bam. You can ask him, man. We had so many good stories. And like, we used to collect baseball cards like crazy when we was younger. We would go trade, man. And look, and I'm not condoning this, right? I was young and dumb, right? I was a kid, a ghetto kid from the projects, man. We would go steal baseball cards, man. We would go to these stores, man, and steal baseball cards and shit, man. We were crazy, man. But that's how we were, man. We didn't have no money or anything. We had to get it how we how we could, The great times, man. But anyway, y'all, I appreciate it, man. This is a random stream. I appreciate y'all dropping by. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time, man. Peace, yo. Appreciate it. Yeah, email me, I'm Kelvin. Thanks, y'all. How do I end this thing here? All right.